God, you must have been the worst university for a couple of days. I mean, could you imagine coming out of your business class only to hear screaming and people getting ripped to shreds in front of you, people being turned into bloody smoothies out on the front lawn? Like we got people fighting each other, yelling at things that you don't understand. You're like, why are they talking about people being mind controlled and you don't have to do this? What are they talking about? Only see Homelander come down from the gray heavens and do the voice line of a police officer with no body cam on, and then absolutely blast the shit out of some random person.
My only sunshine.
And that type of over the topness, that type of just straight up bombastic, in your face, we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want and you're gonna watch as we do it type of energy is kind of why I love Gen V. And seeing as the season is gonna come back next week Wednesday, I thought this was a good time to take a stroll down memory lane and talk about this show, because it is honestly one of my favorite shows I have seen in a minute. Marie Moreau is the main character of this entire series, okay? Like, we may be following Emma and Kay and Andre, but for the most part, Marie is where our story starts, and Marie is going to be where our story ends. And her story starts when she gets her period in the bathroom. I know, just stick with me. This is a show that's based off of The Boys. So just don't think too hard about it. Listen, essentially, she has blood powers, and she ended up killing her own parents. No need for Kamali involved, and no pearl drop. Just her parents dead there because of her own, folly. Really, she freaked out, and her blood exploded and killed her. Exploded into her parents. So her sister sees, reasonably freaked out by it. Like, oh shit, my mom and dad are both dead. My sister's in there crying. Damn, should I A, ask her what's going on, B, cry and go hold her, or C, act like as if she did it even though we have no clue what happened in here? And from what you can guess, since this show isn't 2 episodes long, she didn't pick A, B, but she picked C. So she has to grow up in an orphanage, and she grows up like wanting to be like a superhero, and she wants to prove to her sister and herself that she's not a monster. So she enrolls in God U, which is basically, think of it as like UA Academy, but in the boys universe. You know what I mean? But extremely more fucked. So the first thing she does as soon as she gets there is she immediately goes clubbing with the top 4 people in her school. And because they're the top 4 people, the golden children of the school, they have access to stuff like cocaine, Molly, Percocets.
Percocet, Molly Percocet, chase a chick, never chase a bitch, chase no bitch.
God damn it, Future, stop hijacking my fucking video. Listen, your guess is just as good as mine as to how they got a hold of any of that shit. But that aside, of course, since they're high as fuck, Andre tries to use his powers, which is the black one, the second black one. Okay, there we go. And he slits a woman's throat open. So, of course, Marie, having blood powers, like I mentioned earlier, tries to go over there and help, only to save that woman's life. Like, she did a good thing, and then she goes back to Godolkin University, just so you know, just so I can get this next part off without having to explain anything. The Godolkin, the dean of the school, is like, yeah, you did a great thing, but I'm still gonna fuck you over. Immediately expels her, so she leaves the room pissed as fuck. Luke walks back into the room after she left, and she's like, you know what? She turns around, she's like, matter of fact, I'm gonna give that nigga a piece of my mind. She walks back, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna say so many dastardly things. I'm gonna go in now, I'm gonna really opens the door, sees Luke absolutely charbroiling this man. Like, he looks like he got put in a fucking air fryer. So they're looking at each other deep in the eyes like, holy shit, what do I do now? Luke's like, damn, you really shouldn't have come back. So he starts hawking her down. Marie, blood power. She doesn't have super strength. She doesn't have any of that cool shit. I mean, she has super durability, but all superpowered humans do. But she just has blood magic. So, I mean, blood plus fire. I don't know if you're into Pokemon, but I'm pretty sure you see how that's kind of a mismatch. So Marie's doing the dash. She's getting the fuck out of there. Jordan Lee, who has like the power to like shift from guy to a girl, and her powers, their powers change accordingly to which form they're in, which is so weird because I'm never really consistent about it, because it's like the guy has super strength, but the girl is like, the girl has like Invisible Woman's powers from the new Fantastic Four movie. I don't understand I'm not gonna rack my brain over it. Basically, but the point is, she gets into a fight, punches him in the dick, and ends up bringing the fight to the yard. So now they're in the yard, and Andre's there, which is Luke's best friend. So he proceeds to talk him down. He's like, "Yo, bro, you ain't gotta do this. This ain't you. Come on, man. We can do this together, okay?" Because he really does. This is his best friend. You know, he ain't trying to let his best friend die. So he gives him a big old hug. He's like, "Oh my god, thank you, man." And then Luke tells him, "Let me pop my ult real quick." This next segment is going to be about Andre, who was played by Chance Perdomo, who died in a car crash in 2024. All of this is just jokes towards the character Andre. He was an amazing actor, and I'm sure he was an amazing person. Rest in peace, Chance Perdomo. So after Luke turned himself into a chunky Capri Sun, for lack of a better term, Andre is reasonably disturbed and upset. Like, why would his best friend kill Godolkin, the dean of the school, the person who believed in Luke the most, and then kill himself? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So he takes it to his father. He's like, "Dad, what's going on?" But his dad, he's not really concerned with it. Like, he's trying to make sure his son stays on the right path and goes straight to superhero stardom. You know what I mean? But that's not what Andre wants. Andre just wants to, in his own terms,
to suck and fuck my little heart out. But you worked your fucking ass off.
That's the type of guy we got right here. So listen, let him cook. Let him cook. You can probably assume who got the drugs for last night's escapades. But that aside, he's not only worried about what happened with Luke, but he's also worried about Kate, you know? He's just trying to make sure she has a shoulder to cry on. You know, if she needs anything, he's there. You know, she needs a back rub, a massage. You know, she just needs a hug. He'll be right there to make sure she gets whatever she needs. Whatever she needs. Anywho, he enlists the help of Emma, which is Marie's friend and roommate, who has the ability to shrink by purging, which is throwing up, for those of you who don't know, and who can grow very large by eating a ton. The metaphor isn't exactly for scholars to understand. But with her help, he finds this place called The Woods. He asks his dad about it and finds out that his dad already knew. And The Woods is basically a place where they take the undesirables, the people with some sort of like psychological problem, like schizophrenia or you're bipolar maybe. People like that, they'll take down into the woods and keep them there for years on end, experimenting on them and doing whatever it is they want with them. So Andre takes this to his dad, who already knows about this, and he's been playing along this entire time because he just wants his son to have a good life. You know what I mean? Like, he just wants his son to do what he did, but on a much greater and grander scale. He wants him to make it into the Seven, which is basically like the Justice League of this universe. And as he gets closer to the truth, he ropes more people in. He pulls in Marie. He already pulled in Emma, but now he pulls in Kate. He pulls in as many people as he can to figure out what the hell is actually going on here, which leads us into our third and final segment, Kate. Before I get to the Kate segment, I'm going to have to bore you guys a little bit and give you guys some context, okay? So listen, Luke had a brother. His name was Sam. Sam, I'm pretty sure, was diagnosed with schizophrenia, but I'm not entirely sure because it's kind of like an unnamed illness. But it has all the symptoms and hallmarks of something like schizophrenia. If I'm wrong, please tell me, but I'm pretty sure that's what the mental illness is. But of course, Luke wondering where his brother is. No matter what mental illness his brother has, it's still his brother, and he still loves him. So he wants to figure out what's going on and how he can help his brother. But he can't just leave his brother down there in the woods, in that sub-lab. So that's where Kate comes in. Kate has the power to be able to manipulate you, to be able to convince you of things that aren't true, to even be able to make you do things that you overall just don't really fuck with. However, her power has a fault in it, which is it is not completely without a counter. If she does it a lot to someone else, eventually the brain will break free of the hold. I bring all that up as context so you understand how Kate's power works and how incredibly OP it is, especially since she's like the equivalent of Kitty's soft paws. Like, nobody in this show notices when she's around. Like, one of the last scenes of the show is Marie blowing up her hand because for some reason no one notices when she moves around. Like Andre is like, yeah, I did it. I stopped these like executives from dying. He looks at Marie. He's like, yeah, and he doesn't hear Kate speed walking up next to him, or even see her out of the corner of his eye, or even notice where the fuck is Kate. Wasn't Kate sitting right next to Marie? And then how does Marie not know? Like, this is what I mean by like she's basically Kitty Softpaws. Like, she just like be sneaking the fuck around. She goes invisible for like a couple of seconds, and then reappears, touching you on the shoulder, telling you to go hit your balls with a Louisville Slugger, yelling Jumanji. Like, what the hell? But that's what makes her so dangerous. That's what makes, because she can just do something as simple as graze you. Next thing you know, you're wind up in the bathroom, face out on the toilet, guzzling water like a dog that isn't being fucking washed. Like, I just don't understand how the most dangerous character in the show, the person with the powers, it could convince Homelander to stop being a fucking sociopath. It just goes undetected for minutes at a time, maybe even hours. Sometimes she literally disappears for a couple of days and nobody knows where she's at. Like, it is insane to me how she's so overpowered, and yet nobody's just like, hey, we should probably keep an eye on her. You know, she's been fucking with our memories and shit, making sure that we don't remember specific things that happened last night, and now she's like keeping secrets from us. We should probably keep our eyes on her. No, I think I'll just let her sneak up on all my friends and just convince them to do bad shit. But even after all that sneaking around and all that manipulating she was doing, she still got away with it when Homelander came down from the great heavens above and blasted Marie into some underground fucking hospital. And that was pretty much the end of the season. Now, the next part of the season is going to come out on Wednesday, and I'm really excited to see where it takes Gen V from here, because like I already mentioned earlier, one of the main characters of the show passed a while ago, and they don't plan on replacing him. So I'm sure they had to rewrite a lot of stuff, which is why it probably got delayed so long. So I'm, one, excited to see where it's going to take it. Two, kind of nervous because I don't want it to ruin one of my favorite shows. And yeah, that's pretty much it about Gen V. If you like this video, there's going to be more on the way. Probably going to take a little bit longer because I am in school. So probably like a video every 2 weeks or so. Anywho, peace.